First off, I'd like to thank all the new subscribers. I think I'm up to like 219 or something right now. Appreciate all the nice comments about my layout, which I think is pretty simple and basic, but it's fun for me. Next thing up, I wanted to give some ideas or tips about some things that I've done. Um, I have a double track crossing. Obviously, everybody that's seen the videos, my trains primarily run right hand on either track. I wanted to have crossing detection on both tracks in both directions if necessary. And to do that with your 153 IR or even an MTH ITAT or even any of the Z stuff detectors, you're looking at you need two detectors, one for each side of each signal, and then relays get involved. And it gets really complex, and on top of it, it gets really expensive. And I really wanted something more simple to activate this crossing so that way I could have the trains run more realistically. I accidentally stumbled across a mention on a three rail scale forum, or maybe it was a two rail scale forum of the company Azatrax, and they manufacture infrared sensors that can be used in any scale, but you don't hear a lot about them in three rail. At least I haven't, and they make a fantastic product. And for the price of one of the Z stuff sensors, and far as probably half of a Lionel 153 IR, you get two pairs of infrared sensors. Here's one here, hard to see, and I'll go across the track here, and then here's another one. They're just little infrared sensors. They go through a plastic tube. Then you bend them over on a 90-degree angle, and one sends a signal and the other one receives it. And when that gets blocked, it activates the crossing. You get two pairs. You put one pair at one end of the crossing, and then my other one is at the other end of the crossing. They give you about 3 feet of wire to go on either end. That's about where I'm at. So it detects the trains a little bit earlier than, say an activating track. But the nice part about it is for a little over $40 and some shipping, it comes with a circuit board, and the wires are all color coded. The terminals are numbered and lettered accordingly. And while it looks a little intimidating at first, you got four pairs of wires all going to one control board. It looks a little scary, but the directions are very clear and concise. And hookup is easy, and it works like a charm. The train will come through one sensor, activate it, start the crossing, and then when it goes through the other sensor, it's also detected there, and the crossing remains on until the train clears that other pair of sensors, and the other direction, vice versa. And if another train comes in on the other side and blocks a sensor, the signals will stay on until it clears the other sensor. And if you have a train that comes near the crossing and activates the signal and then backs out of the way from the crossing, the signal stays on for, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds or something, and then it will shut off automatically. But it works slick, it works flawless, and for me, it was by far the easiest way to go to activate this MTH crossing signal with Bell. I've had no issues with it whatsoever, and I highly recommend it. On top of it, John Parsons over at Azatrax was very helpful and very responsive to any email questions I have. And I have no affiliation with him or the company, but when someone provides an excellent product and has the customer service and is ready, willing to help the guy who only wants two pairs of sensors versus maybe somebody that has an entire club layout and maybe they need 50 or 100, I take notice of that, because at the end of the day, I think we all count. The little guy is as important as a guy with 1,000 engines, or, what's the point of this hobby? But anyway, so and what I've done here, you can do across the track, which to me was simpler and, a no-brainer. But if you added two more pairs of sensors, you could actually put them in the roadbed on a 45-degree angle, and then the signal would bounce off the underneath of the car and be detected by the receiving end. So then that way they're more out of sight. But these sensors aren't very big. I could hide them with something. I mean, you can see they aren't very easy to even find, and I don't even have them hidden. So I was okay with that. Part of my layout with the electronics aspect of it is a lot of the stuff I'm trying to make user serviceable, because I don't know, things break, things wear out, things don't always last. That's why I left these crossing gates on the surface. I prefer to have the base with the screw heads and the wiring below the layout surface. But should one of these crossings fail, it's just a matter of undoing the wiring, undo the screws, pull it out of the layout, and replace it. That's where it was kind of a catch-22. Do I make it look better, or do I make it serviceable? Because this layout hopefully will exist, or at least the components, as long as I do, and hopefully I got some time to go here. So I'll stop this video here, and I'll go to the next thing. Something else that I did, I ran across a member on the OGR forum that was selling takeout parts from Lionel's box cars with sound that they produce. Some have Halloween sounds, some have Christmas sounds, and that sort of thing. And he was selling just the electronics, the control board, the speaker. And I figured, you know what, that'd be a neat idea. How can I incorporate this? I know Lionel came out with a new haunted house with sound, but personally I prefer the look of my old one, cosmetically speaking. The sound isn't quite as advanced. It doesn't have constant sound. You turn the witch on, you get screeching and ghost sound. So I figure, how can I incorporate that into the layout? So you get those run on a 9-volt battery, but I really wanted to tie them into the layout. So after doing some research, asking some questions, you can get a buck converter, which will reduce the voltage so you can get down to 9 volts to operate these sound modules from your transformer power. So that's what I did. They sell those on eBay. Those are only a few bucks. Run some wiring, install a toggle switch, and this is what I have. Okay, so you get that gist of that. So that turned out really well. And I thought about, well, I can do that. I have my North Pole station from Lionel, which is one of the original accessories I bought. Nothing special about it. I've already added the LEDs to it. So I said, well, maybe I can put some Christmas music in there. And same concept. So you get the idea on that. So those were two neat little projects that I did. And I also want to mention, someone asked if I had a Yeti or a snowman, or abominable snowman figure, and I forgot to get that in the original layout presentation. And in fact, I found a really good one if you're looking for that sort of thing. This was an eBay purchase. I thought it looked excellent, and in my opinion, a much better looking figure than what you can find from Scenics Express or maybe Woodland Scenics, whoever's making these. It was a thing from China, a cryptozoologist figure manufacturer or something. I ordered it, came from China. It took a week or two. Not a big deal. Nice figure. Adds a little something to the layout.